Picture this. You start with just 25 bucks. Hook it up to an aggressive automated trading bot and just let it run in the live markets. Welcome to a brand new explainer series from GoldMiningExpert. We are stripping away the hype today and opening up the books for a completely transparent trading journal. Our goal here is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly rare in this space. We are tracking real, unedited, automated trading performance over a sustained period of time. Exactly. This is definitely not some retrospective look at cherry-picked perfect data. This is a documented, ongoing trading journey. We're going to dive into the unvarnished truth of algorithmic trading, analyzing the actual data, the real equity curves, and exactly how an expert advisor behaves out in the wild, capturing the steady growth, but also the inevitable and sometimes terrifying risks.
So here's the ultimate question for this whole experiment. Can a tiny account funded with just $25 actually survive the massive volatility of aggressive automated trading? And not just survive, right? Can it consistently compound its way up to a level where it proves its long-term viability? That really is the ultimate test here. The end destination for this GoldMining Ninja account isn't just for our own internal testing. The goal is to see if this algorithm can weather the storms, manage its drawdowns, and build enough of a proven, stable track record to eventually be launched as a public copy trading signal. But before we get to the end game, we really have to start at the absolute beginning.
Now you might be thinking, how do you even run a multi-position automated strategy with just $25? Well, mechanically, we're doing this by using a Cent account on RoboForex. For anyone tracking this at home, the account number is 37251514. If you aren't familiar with it, a Cent account is this highly specialized environment where your balance is actually displayed and traded in cents instead of dollars. Right, so that initial $25 deposit, it doesn't show up as $25, it displays as 2,500 cents. And this is an absolutely critical tool for algorithmic traders. It lets us test the live market execution, the slippage, and the spread behavior of an expert advisor with real money but with massively reduced capital exposure. Basically, it allows a highly complex strategy to operate exactly as it would on a standard account, but at a total fraction of the financial risk.
All right, let's get under the hood. Section 1. The engine. The USDJPY Ninja strategy. Before we reveal the actual performance numbers, we really need to understand the logic driving this thing. Normally, traditional trading is highly directional, right? You analyze the market, you try to predict if the price is going up or down, and you place a trade hoping you nailed it. But the USDJPY Ninja completely throws that directional prediction out the window. Like the name implies, this expert advisor is laser-focused exclusively on the US dollar to Japanese yen pairing. It uses a grid and martingale recovery system, so it's this incredibly high-activity approach designed to capture the oscillating back-and-forth movements of the market. When the market moves against a position, the bot doesn't just take a loss, it systematically opens strategically placed recovery trades. Think of them as mathematical safety nets, designed to close the entire basket of trades in profit as soon as the market makes its natural retracement.
Okay, so let's look at the actual numbers. Does this theoretical engine actually perform in the real world? Well, looking at the MetaTrader 5 trading report from November 2025 to May 2026, the results are honestly striking. We are looking at a massive 198.05% total growth. The gross profit sits nicely at over $10,000 against a gross loss of just under $5,000. That gives us a highly robust profit factor of 2.12. Simply put, for every cent this system loses, it makes 2.12 back. And you can really see the relentlessness of this bot when you look at that 91.42% trading activity metric. It's averaging 9 trades per week with an average hold time of over 2 days. It is constantly weaving its grid, constantly interacting with the pulse of the market. It's not just sitting around idle waiting for the perfect setup. It is dynamically managing its environment 24/7.
And visualizing this journey really brings it to life. Take a look at this chart right here, tracking our progress from that initial deposit up to May 2026. That blue line, that represents our balance, which currently sits at 7,397 cents. And the purple line is our real-time equity, currently at 6,871 cents. What you really want to see in any realistic trading journal is exactly this kind of steady upward progression. Notice how incredibly tightly aligned the blue and purple curves are for the vast majority of that timeline. That essentially tells us the system isn't usually carrying massive amounts of floating negative equity. It takes a step up, it consolidates, takes another step up, and then you can see it accelerates beautifully as we move into the spring of 2026.
But we promised you guys radical transparency, no fluff. We sure did. So take a deep breath, because here is the reality check. 78.22%. That is the historical maximum drawdown this exact account has experienced. It is absolutely vital to understand that martingale and grid systems naturally carry significant exposure during sustained, adverse market conditions. When the USDJPY trends heavily in one direction without retracing, that grid expands and the floating drawdown increases. This number right here, it shows exactly how close the bot came to the edge.
You can literally see that tension play out on this chart. The soaring green line represents our 198% growth, but look at those sharp red peaks down at the bottom. Those represent the severe drawdown phases. Yeah, that really aggressive red spike right around June, that was the system under immense pressure, absorbing the shock of a huge directional trend. But here is the exact reason the account is still alive and thriving today: the recovery. Once the market finally provided that necessary retracement, the system successfully cleared the grid. And that bounce back is reflected in an impressive 6.88 recovery factor. It doesn't just survive those terrifying spikes, it aggressively capitalizes on the recovery to push that green equity line even higher.
So, where do we go from here? Section 2, the horizon. What's next?
We definitely aren't just letting this run aimlessly in the background. We actually have a very specific two-step roadmap for this. Step 1, we need to reach the milestone of 10,000 cents, which equals a standard $100. That represents a 300% return on the initial investment, and mathematically, it provides a solid buffer for the grid strategy to operate with just a little bit more breathing room. And once that stability milestone is achieved, we trigger Step 2. We are going to launch this exact account publicly on the RoboForex platform as a copy trading signal, which means anyone will be able to link their own account and automatically mirror the exact trades of the USDJPY Ninja, all based on this fully verified track record we're building right in front of you.
And that's exactly why we're documenting this entire journey. In our future weekly explainer updates, we're going to be meticulously tracking the metrics that actually matter: the ongoing account growth, how the drawdown behaves during new market conditions, the absolute consistency of the expert advisor, its recovery performance after the inevitable hits, and ultimately, its long-term sustainability. So if you value transparent, algorithmic trading journals, if you actually want to see how EAs perform in the real world without all the marketing spin, and if you're interested in realistic long-term trading progression, then make sure you subscribe and follow the GoldMiningExpert journal. The account has survived its first massive 78% drawdown, but the ultimate test is always tomorrow. The market is entirely unforgiving, so we want to leave you with this. When the next unprecedented market shock hits the USDJPY, will the Ninja's grid be strong enough to hold, or will this $25 experiment finally break? Join us next time to find out.